three wise men. Three wise fools?
Laid back.
With my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
So how has everyone's week been?
Matt, how's your week been?
Good. So yeah,
Fridge freezer broke, the toaster broke,
why have you got a combo?
my iron broke. Everything around me's been breaking, being like for me. She loves the night.
So is it, what's the word that you use? Oh, it's quite therapeutic.
Oh,
I like ironing.
yeah.
That's she's a keeper.
Half a bottle of gin later though, it's a bit of a mess. So I put my cover on, I'm like, but no, she's good like that. But I only tend to iron if I need something.
Yeah. I think if we're going to compare forehead to you, these raw. Yeah. We're like,
But apart from that, apart from the wetness,
yeah,
it's all good.
bit of dampness, moisture.
Yeah, going back to our main sponsor.
Actually,
So anyway,
oh, sorry, don't worry about me. No, I've had a great week.
Oh, Rich, how are you?
Thanks. But if you're close to me, I rarely talk about it.
That's all he goes on about.
It's sort of a bit embarrassed about it.
If your
but
pecs weren't so big though, he wouldn't have latched on.
I was genuinely a bit traumatized. It definitely
he's a
threw
big
me
dog.
for a couple of days. No, he's a big dog and it was...
so basically,
yeah.
Richie's had a bit of a canine action in the bedroom this
I
week.
have indeed.
I nearly swore. I don't know if we can swear, but
Yes, well,
it's fucking terrible for people's mental health because
there he is.
Hey, whoa, say it like this. Yeah.
we're behind.
So, Matt Holman's Men's Health Roundup of the Week.
Is that
What's
a new
going on?
jingle?
That is it. I like it.
I think we're going to invest in some proper jingles for this for the time being.
Maybe
Using the far ways of well-being, I think maybe medication is one element, but there's a whole host of things that they can offer us.
I used to joke.
You've had Doris in with a toenail.
Not Doris again.
Doris again with a
How
toenail.
many toenails has she got, man?
Open off, shouting, what are you doing about my athlete's foot?
13 toes.
And we've got nothing against Doris at all.
Who is she?
Please, Bruce, do call in again. When men fuck up, they do it in style, I feel. And it always, with the internet, I feel this is the best thing about the internet. It's cool.
I don't think that camera caught that. I was trying to give him a bit of flapjack.
Yeah.
He was trying to warm me up in the bushes. Just to send out some nice positive vibrations to people who can shut your eyes and have a chill out and have a listen.
Hello and welcome to the broadcast Burrowman Can. This is the Three Wise Fools. I am Matt.
I'm Richie.
And hello and welcome. My name is Idris, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. How are we, lads? All right? Good week? Actually, before we start, something happened the other week, didn't it, on the pod, and I said something and we were debating whether to bleep it out, so we're going to give you a little bit of a warning. This pod does contain some strong language and words that you may find offensive. If you don't like it, tough. Go and listen to Classic FM, because I'm not being funny, this is a man's chat, and if you don't swear, then it just doesn't feel real. So we're sorry if you find it offensive, and we're sorry if you get a bit upset by it, but ultimately just turn off.
I just do want to apologise in advance on behalf of the group, if these two don't.
What's the message, Joe?
What's the message? What?
Are you done? Is that it?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, okay.
How are you, Rich? Good week?
Yeah, I have a better week than you, by all accounts. And
Yeah. Go on, you first.
No.
I've just had a couple of weeks that I could just do without, to be honest.
Work?
Not so much work, little bits of work, personal stuff that I'm not going to go into, but just stuff that's just fucking pissed me off. And I'm not being funny. Human beings, just that fucking niggling, yeah. So
Little things.
just little things, but 25 little things build up to one big thing ultimately, don't they? So I've had to try and go back within myself and find my coping mechanisms again and just try and look at out my bike.
That's life, isn't it?
Yeah, it is life, but
It's sort of shitty.
life is shit, Rich.
That's the starting point, isn't it?
Sometimes. Most of the time it's really good. But no, I've just had a difficult couple of weeks and hopefully things have got a bit sorted. So just chewy, busy, tired, fucking pissed off.
Yeah. It's a good place to be, though, isn't it?
It is.
Because you can get it out.
Yeah,
as well.
It is. And I have to say, I know me and you spoke in the week for about the 100th time. So I rings him, and all he had in the background was his missus go, fucking hell, does he fancy you or something?
It's not Mrs., but,
Your girlfriend.
GF.
I'm warning you. Don't prod.
True.
So
True.
I've had a funny little week. Mainly the back end of this week really has been quite just difficult. Nothing massively has happened. Just prodding away. People prodding at me all the time. So
you need people like me in your life, though.
I know, but I will say, me and Richie spoke Idris in the week, and I absolutely love doing this pod. And I think we started it off to help one person, didn't we? If one person listened, and that was it. And ultimately, we've got more people listening now, which
Yeah, we got 2 listeners now.
we've got 2.
We've doubled our audience. Don't talk. Never mention the numbers. We've doubled our audience.
But it's good, and I do really enjoy doing it, and it helps me as well. It really does, and it's given me a different focus outside of my normal life. So that's really good. How are you?
You know, sometimes you're just pissed off. You have a one day where the whole fucking day, everything that happens, you just want to, you just hate everyone, and it's just something. You're just angry as fuck. You can't quite pin it on something, and you know that something's. It could be sleep, it could be whatever. I think it's probably there's that much going on at the moment. Like you said, the little things. Boris Johnson's pissing me off. I mean, he always pisses me off anyway. The government are pissing me off. The mixed messages. I'm up to the eyeballs of reading about stuff that contradicts each other about what this is all about and whose agenda it is and all the shit that they keep changing in society, all in the back of COVID-19. And I'm not having any of it. I'm having none of it. And I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed by it, basically. They've just started hitting the news about, the care home deaths, which is just tragic. Absolutely tragic. But we were talking about it at the time. And it was like the press weren't really covering it, even though it was known that it was out there about sending people back from hospitals and blah, blah, blah. But you could go on and rant about all these things, but you've got to accept it. And
that's why I don't watch it.
Well,
if you just joined us, welcome to the happy hour. I'm off. See you later.
Nice knowing you.
How are you, Idris? You had a good week.
I've disappeared off the screen. Let me put myself back on there. I've had in comparison, I've had a pretty good week actually. I've got things done in the house, a bit of DIY.
Your garden.
The garden.
Yeah, I got some gardening done. It wasn't enough. Go on.
Yeah. So been busy.
Yeah.
Apart from that,
the barbecue. You had an invite me to barbecue.
Yes.
Invite us to the next one.
Yes. Well, hopefully next summer. No.
So we'll be on lockdown again.
I think once we have the next nice weather, we'll organise something.
Sounds good.
Cool.
I've heard you're a man that likes to drive your car places and set up barbecues as well. Is that true? Like go mobile with your barbie?
No. It's not something I do.
Do you know?
No.
So on that, I go on a bike ride last Wednesday.
Is that same as dogging?
Yeah. Well, I heard that about you as well, to be fair. Hold on, I've got photos.
Idris does it by cooking tandoori chicken in the waft of the smell. So on the bike ride on Wednesday after work.
Passing sausages around.
Red hot, 50 miles, really good ride. It was too much, to be honest, it was that hot. Get up towards Cobbeck. And then, so we climbed towards Motherley, lovely, go Cobbeck, down towards Swainby. And there's this waft, and I'm struggling now, I'm starving. There's a waft of tandoori chicken coming, and this Asian couple were just sat on the side, barbecuing, and it was beautiful.
Did you just storm in there?
I rode past and I thought,
Yeah.
fucking pissed off, gives you fucking tandoori and fuck off. I'm eating it. No.
That's it. Isn't that one of those, when you do tandoori, it's on like a sort of oven
just
pot thing?
melt.
Isn't that tandoori?
No, tandoori is cooked over an open fire, so it's normally in the charcoal oven.
Okay.
So yeah,
But
you can do it in the wild.
But 35 mile in, starving.
Yeah. Always well prepared for the food usually.
Yeah.
Is that when you hit the wall on the way back?
I'd done a couple of Coupland's donuts as well.
Always prepared.
I just struggled, but it smelled beautiful, and I thought that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's good.
Great idea.
Man up.
Are we doing man up?
Man up. No, not yet. I'm just saying that sounds like a result for some bloke there.
Well,
Barbie.
I hope they're not listening, because if Idris does it, he's dogging and barbecuing at the same time. Yeah. And the waft of tandoori attracts the other doggers. That's what I'm thinking.
The simplest things sometimes are the best. And last Sunday, it was just went to meet my mum. She hadn't been out for a week, and she didn't feel confident going out, whatever. So we went for a walk down from where she is, Preston Park, in Eaglescliff. Nice little walk around the park, down the side of the river and all that. Nice slow walk with the dog. Beautiful. Just lovely. Nice and chill.
You don't need too much, do you?
And it was just nice chatting. It was just what she needed. We all needed it at the same time. So that was good.
Good.
Yeah.
I've had some positives. I have honestly. I have had some positives.
COVID-19.
Oh, just.
Have you been for a test?
Yeah. So.
What about the COVID-19 one?
You fuck.
I know what I was going to say.
It wasn't that
sorry.
cotton, it was a fucking long cotton bud, that one.
No, sorry.
Can we do the results reveal?
No,
Dripping.
no. we don't want to bring that on there.
Right, well...
But has that
You
pus cleared up,
started.
though?
There's what cleared up?
Has the pus cleared up?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all gone that now.
Okay.
That's why I'm a
3
bit...
sets of box shorts in one day, though.
Fuck,
Like, you
awful.
and you still didn't go to GP.
I have been tested, though.
Rank.
It's awful. The COVID test.
It's awful. Like, someone I work with said that. Said it was
So,
quite invasive.
I thought our lass was trying to kill me, because Saturday morning the other week, drinking a cup of tea,
Allegedly.
tastes like bleach. Thought, I said to her, fuck have you done with my cup of tea? She said, I haven't done anything. Anyway, I let it go. Instead of kicking off.
Arsenic.
Fucking hell. No, I let it go, and then
Life insurance.
next day, coffee tastes like bleach. So I had that taste difference. So I went to Teesside Park. It was quite simplistic, a book. Cotton bud. I gets there, winds a window down, bloke, an army fella, window up, with a face shield on, kicking off. There was a car full of old biddies next to me. Doris and all them were in the car.
Not Doris again.
You have to do it yourself.
Jesus,
Yeah,
getting
Doris is
everywhere,
there. I know,
doesn't
well,
she?
she disrupts the doctors. And now
Mention
she-
every week.
Yeah. So you get the set of instructions. You have to do it yourself, with army all around you,
No pressure.
and you get this cotton bud right to the back of your throat, tonsils, then the same cotton bud up your nose. Well,
Gag reflex.
ow. Luckily, I wasn't that badly hungover.
we
but
haven't put this to the test in any other way.
It was awful. Yeah, I was skipping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was awful. And then up your nose. And I think the only reason I tested negative because I went, just a quick brush.
That was it.
And then, that was it. But I tested negative, yeah.
Could be a what do you call it? False negative, couldn't it?
I'm not really bothered
Yeah.
if I had it or not. I'm just not having it.
Now he knows what that gagging reflex looks like.
Absolutely. It's not the first time, let's be honest. He knew it was going to be difficult before he got it in.
Fuck's sake. Well, I swear, do you know, I'm glad I did that little thing at the beginning. I've sworn that, haven't I, in the first couple
Have you?
of minutes. Yeah. It's out now. I'm all right.
Just because he put that disclaimer on there, he thinks he's got carte blanche
That's right,
now.
yeah.
You know,
He's working his way through the full list, isn't he?
No,
Is there anything I haven't said? Roger's Profanosaurus, you know. Yeah.
I'm all right.
Look shit with lies. Like,
Good
you wanna
news,
talk about
Borough
that?
won this week.
And
Got rid of the
good
manager.
Yeah.
Got rid of the manager, which should never been employed. I'm not getting
We
into
don't like to
football,
get rid of
but-
managers when we win a game.
Yeah, but
We like to celebrate by getting rid of them.
he should never been employed for me. Too inexperienced for that league. Warnock, yeah.
Why not?
Well, have you seen what he's done with one of the players?
Can I just say, you are our football man in the thing. I don't know if Idris is in football.
You're in the football.
I used to be a
I'm
lot.
not.
Well, I'll just
season ticket
briefly
holders
tell you.
twice, but go on.
And Warnock just gets a little man up for me.
Right?
One, fucking yes.
Oh my god, slow motion that one.
Yeah, but they've won. So,
Yeah.
and I always say when the Borough win, the town are happy, aren't they? And I think if the Borough are doing well in the division or the league or whatever they're doing, then the town generally is a better place to be. And for men's mental health, a lot of blokes find it a lot better. So one of the players is running out of contract, and so Warnock gets interviewed after the game, and this player gets a mention. And he says, "Oh yeah, well he told me on Thursday that he's fit, but he's not going to risk himself because his contract's running out. So I told him to go." And the player said, "Oh no, well I'm under contract." He said, "Don't worry about that, son. I've sorted that. Basically, fuck off.
Yeah, nice.
I'm gone."
Nice.
And that's what you want, bit of honesty. But no, just a little mention about Borough because
Because whoever that player was, he was playing for the. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Well, that's it. He's done nothing anyway. So.
Right. So actually, he had no capital at all to play with.
Well, no, it's not as if he said,
Negotiate.
"Well, hang on, I've just smashed 25 goals in,
Yeah.
and I'm the main man."
Yeah, that's it. Contract's up soon. Let's get negotiated.
Warnock basically said, "Well, I couldn't give a shit because you're dog shit anyway." So,
I thought you were the cleaner.
well, that's it.
I thought it was going to mop the
So
changing rooms down.
basically just said, "There you go."
Yeah.
I love that, and I think that needs it more. Anyway,
Um,
Very good.
Anyway,
can I do the men's health in the news from Richie? It's a better jingle than yours last week.
I felt like I talked over that. Should we do that again? Go.
Men's health in the news with Richie.
Awesome. I think we should start off with this guy called Chris McGlade.
Brilliant.
So, actually, you shared this with me from Facebook.
Yeah.
This guy is, I think he used to work at...
From what I can gather with him, he's
Yeah.
a comedian. His father was murdered, and he's used the dark stuff in his life, I think, to and made it in the light and quite funny.
Okay. So
I got sent this, and I'm not on Facebook, but it was one of them links that I could watch. He has done a poem about 4 years ago, which is, to be honest, with everything that's been going on with Black Lives Matters and COVID and everything else, I watched it. And it's not often I'm find stuff really powerful and now I'm like, wow. But I really did with him because it resonated. And I think for what we're trying to do for people around here and blokes around here, I think he's nailed it for me.
And so this is like, it's about free speech.
Yeah.
And I think like with the reason we would show this, it's sort of men's, it's not really men's health, but it sort of is in a way. If we're always talking about men's culture and sort of masculinity and how things are changing in the world and how men can be open and honest, and certainly in a podcast where we feel we can talk freely about things, I think this is quite an important thing, really.
Yeah, I do.
But we like the message, we like the poem, didn't we?
We did.
5 minutes long.
And I think he's the guy as well who ran on the pitch at Wembley with Save Red Cabaths on him. So he's obviously
Chelsea game or
one of them, Leicester, Chelsea.
Leicester, yeah.
So, but this is it. This is the poem. So I hope you enjoy it. It's really powerful.
So we're gonna watch it.
So let's take a listen and a watch of this one. See if I can get the buttons right.
Here we are in one of my favourite places. So have we got any people watching yet? I said I was going to go live at 7:30. I'm not too sure what's gone on with the poem, The Right to Hate. Loads of people are saying they can't share it anymore. Loads of people are saying they can't see it anymore. So I've decided, before I can get this problem sorted, that I would come back here to the place where it all began 3 years ago. Somebody has said to me that I'm doing this because I need to have something in my life. You've got to be joking. I never asked for this to happen. Okay? I made this poem 3 years ago. I wrote it 4 years ago, and I put it online. And I just left it there. And it's the people, normal people, who've made this go crazy. Not me. I haven't pushed it or promoted it or anything. It's you. Because you all feel the same way as me, or so many of you do. And so I've come back out to this place. I love this place. They're going to flatten this soon. Our old blast furnace. And for me, it's a shrine. It's a shrine to working class life. Right? This poem goes out to the handful, relatively small number in comparison with 7 billion people in the world. But this goes out to all those globalists in the world, or that small group of globalists in the world that have divided us and conquered us for so long, and who are trying to do so more than ever now. I hope I don't make any mistakes for you. I'll try not. But here's my poem, The Right to Hate. You tell me what I can't say. You censor what I can. You say I'm offensive because I believe my eyes, and I say I see a woman, not a man. You call me thick and racist for not wanting to be a part of a rich man's club in Europe, or a global new world order with no soul or guts or heart. You throw at me the slave trade. You tell me my 4-year-old grandson is to blame. You point your branding, accusing, intolerant fingers and tell me to hang my head in shame. I'm free to have opinions as long as they fall in line with yours. I can fly my banners high and proud as long as you support that cause. You have to be right all the time. Yours is the only way. I have to like the things you like, be they black, trans, left or gay. It makes no difference if I tell you I'm not the things for which you accuse, because once you've made up your closed off minds, I'm always going to lose. I have black friends, so you're still a racist, homophobic, but I've shared beds with gay men. I'm an anti-Semite, But the Rothschilds is the richest banking family in this world, and that's got nothing to do with them being Jewish and everything to do with them being multi-billionaires, really do influence the dollar, pound and yen. You sip your Pinot Grigio in trendy bars down in the smoke, looking down your noses with loathsome contempt at billions of working class folk. Well, I've come here to tell you that you have had your time, because the winds of change are blowing and bells of freedom soon will chime, because my class, my fucking class, are waking up and stirring, and we're going to peacefully attack. We're going to breach those PC walls of segregation that have divided gay, straight, white and black. I've got no malice in my heart. I don't judge people on their sex or creed or race. I don't speak ill of absolute cunts behind the backs, not even the bloke who murdered me dad. I just tell them to the face. So to all you branding progressive liberals who won't allow debate, I hate no man or woman. I just want the right to hate. I want the right to hate like I want the right to love. I want to like and dislike what I want to like and dislike and be able to vocalise it, bruv. I'm not responsible for slavery, and I'm not taking any blame. Because the white privilege built on black slavery you say that I enjoy, well, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Oprah Winfrey, Rihanna, Floyd Mayweather, Alicia Keys, Jamie Foxx, Barack Obama, et al. All enjoy the same. Beyonce spent $87 million on a house just through shaking that ass, while me and our lass sit at home lamenting about ways to pay the fucking gas. And I don't see too much white privilege in a system that lets East European refugees or wounded soldiers live in cardboard boxes. Why do Black Lives Matter and progressives fail to see not all white folks live in stately homes chasing fucking foxes? And I'm not homophobic, transphobic, racist or anything phobic, you see, because I don't fear sex or race or gender. I just won't bow down to your PC. Don't confuse my use of slang with racism and bigotry. Don't confuse my rejection of your shite with spite. Don't naturally assume I'm thick and racist because I'm northern working class. I'm not. I'm articulate, sharp and bright. And I will not walk a minefield every time I open my mouth to speak. And I will not apologise for things I've glibly said or spoken tongue-in-cheek. So shape up or fuck off for your madness. Because I'm going to bring you down. I'm going to bring working class people, all people together, Muslim, Christian, white and brown. I'm going to bring those globalist walls of Jericho crashing around your brainwashed progressive liberal feet. And I'm going to blow my loving, inclusive, un-PC fanfare. And your communist, fascist, capitalist, socialist, left, right, Catholic, Protestant, Muslim, Christian, black, white, gay, straight, male, female, leave, remain, Republican, Democrat, afraid of COVID-19, unafraid of COVID-19, north, south, divides I will defeat. You globalists, you've divided us and conquered us for way too long. You've taken the piss out of us and you've laughed at us and you've shared the benefits at the top. Well, I've come back to this northern working class shrine in my hometown of Redcar to tell you, now really is the time for your shit to fucking stop. Peace.
Peace
now
indeed.
I love that. I absolutely love it for so many reasons. I've always liked the idea of defending people's right to free speech, and it is important.
No, it is.
I don't know. There's so many different angles on this, isn't there? The right to offend, the right to be offended. But actually, does that make you right? You know, like to be because I'm offended. Well, you know, there's no. You can be offended, can't you? But actually, it doesn't make you right.
I think there's a difference between having an opinion and just being nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are going to make a comment about, for example, Black Lives Matter or whatever it is, as long as it's a matter that's not overly massively offensive and you're just doing it for your own gain, just to take the piss out of someone or call someone, I think it's fine. And I think in this day and age, we are quashed, aren't we? Our ideas, our values are quashed a lot, and whether it's to do with transgender, like he says, race or whatever it is, it's very difficult now to speak out. So like you can't even, like 9 times out of 10, have an argument with someone at work now. You you know, you might spend 12 hours a day with someone at work. You're going to fall out. Oh, what could we do? It's just an argument, like, and people get moved office or whatever it is in whatever environment you work in. And I just think I think he nails it there. I think he nails it for people around here. I think, and I love going to the blast furnace. I take the kids there and I try to educate them on. This was us. This is our history.
You have convinced me though. They probably should keep it as a.
I think they're doing it.
Sort of...
I'm not here to campaign for it because there's better people placed for that, and I have no clue of how you would do it. But for me, that building should be listed. It should be listed in a protected building. And when you look at the wildlife around there, there's like foxes that are of a different colour. I can't remember what they're called. They were called the foxes of ICI. I've seen one. Me and my girlfriend seen one.
It needs to be protected for what reason?
For our history, for our skyline, for our.
Well, when the exploitation of working class white people happen, is that why you want to preserve it?
No, I just think it's something that is built. Everyone's grandparents either worked there or knew someone who worked there. I think it's a massive part of our history. The steel built the Sydney Bridge, Sydney Harbour Bridge. It's gone over to San Francisco. You go down into the underground at London. It's there, holding the frigging ceiling up, and it's travelled the world. And I just think we should be very, very proud of where we're from and what we do. And the skyline needs to stay. That needs to stay. It needs to be listed. And for me, you could do tours around there, educating the youth on what hard work and what people had sacrificed and did to build up the area.
I mean, Idris's point there. I mean, it's sort of Idris's point there, but it sort of stands in a way, doesn't it, to a degree, about kind of all these things. And whilst it was using like local things that were mined from the Aston Hills and all that kind of stuff, building things around the world, high quality steel, you know, really sort of the whole town's built on it. But the damage that it's done as a result as well, once it's closed, and it was so reliant on it for good wages and so on, it's really sucked the life out of the area as well when it's closed, when they've been done with exploiting it. And then they've found cheaper labour elsewhere, which is sickening. But I agree. I mean, actually, when he said it was I've never really personally thought, even though I know blokes who work there, and never really thought of it in that way before, like a shrine to the working class.
But when you go down to the gate, and if you go past the blast furnace, and you know where like the fishermen's huts are, but if you go down to the left, there's like a little boat wreck that's stranded on the beach. If you go past there and keep going, there's loads of like there's loads of little alcoves around there, and if you're sitting there, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's incredible that the ships, the heritage that we've got, and I just think to knock that down would be shameful for me.
It's definitely an
but
one.
Chris McGlade there, I mean, I watched that and it blew me away. I think I take me out of tune.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is, one of the traits of masculinity is might well be that openness, that sort of brutal honesty sometimes that blokes might show. Debate that all day long, but I think that's been under attack for some time, and I like the idea of someone who speaks out for the basic rights, which is to, you know, and I think that like this, the neoliberal agenda and the sort of the far left as much as the far right, as much to blame for allowing us to be separated as a society, and it's wrong. It's like the insinuation that just because you speak out against a specific thing that represents the whole of that opinion is just a load of bullshit, basically. Even the bit about white, I mean, he mentions about white privilege, which is, now listen to Jordan Peterson, who was saying, well, you know, you can, why would you deny that like white privilege exists? Clearly, you know, there's privileges, but you can't have that conversation about white privilege without accepting that there's a shitload of other privileges that exist, and that doesn't exist in isolation.
No.
So there's privileges right across, you know, there's all sorts of different privileges that people are given, whether it's financial, whether it's social,
spiritual,
right? And it's like, well, yes, absolutely,
class privilege, patriarchy, you know, all these things stack on top of each other, don't they? Really, these aren't, you know, these privileges don't exist in silos, and there's lots of overlap. And
but you could hear the emotion in his voice. I think at one point he wells up when he's on about my class. He's so proud, and I think a lot of blokes around here, and I am very proud to be from Middlesbrough, and I don't really ever envisage myself living too far away from here because we have everything on our doorstep, like we've discussed before. And I think a lot of blokes around here are proud of being from around here, and I think that would resonate with a lot of people.
So I'd include that because I thought it was well worth a mention. But I thought the impact on men's health, it's kind of like, look, we're trying to promote open discussion. men being upfront, not being afraid to say, the wrong words, and we're very much against, we are against that. Although it's weird, I almost feel like we should just continue to just have conversations as we do with whatever language we choose to, and just be comfortable with that. And if people don't like it, then maybe we can have those people on and have that conversation and see where things take us in the future. But it's good, and I'm all for it, basically, in terms of. And it might not even agree. You don't have to agree on people's politics. You don't have to agree with each other. But it's actually there's an important message in there.
Yeah, there is.
No, it does affect men's health. It definitely does.
Talking about having people on, we do have a guest in the studio as well today. Well, a virtual guest.
We do.
We will introduce in a moment. But I'm conscious of the time that we are sort of part way into.
You were always panicking about the time.
You still can talk for England.
I know.
True. I know. So we're going to go quiet now
and just look at you.
Yeah, I think it's time for man up, man down. So,
fair play.
So I think if we can head towards that, what are we doing first, man up?
Man. Let's do man down. Let's do man down.
Man down.
Have a laugh at a couple of blokes.
Or are we doing the news roundup?
Well, there was one other article to mention in Men's Health in the News, which is I don't know if you can bring the screen up so people can see.
Which one are we talking about?
It's Darren from Middlesbrough Council. We see stories like this.
Okay.
Now and then.
Let's see if we can get our good friend of the program onto the screen.
Who's that?
Do
Darren.
you know Darren? I've met Darren a couple of times, and I saw this article that came up, and he's been given an award by the mayor. I think it's the mayor's award, and it's about basically saw a man unconscious who essentially it looked like he'd had a drug overdose, a homeless man, ran to his aid basically while he was administering naloxone, which is an anti-overdose.
So yes, this is Darren Daniels with the mayor Andy Preston. Mm-hmm. So just gives a background to this particular story, Richie.
So he's in the town centre, and he heard word that this lad was in one of the side alleys in the town centre who had collapsed and was unconscious. Anyway, with someone else, they started to administer naloxone, which is an anti-sort of overdose drug, and basically tried to get the guy back round. I mean, it didn't for the guy who they were trying to help. It didn't end well, actually. But what happened is he got. When they were administering the naloxone after it, he got a needle prick as well. And then it was confirmed later that the man in question who was trying to help out tested positive for a couple of things, which is, what is it, Hep C, Hep B. And so he had to wait 4 months while he was getting tested himself to see if it had been passed on. And it's like people in the situation trying to help others, they don't necessarily always put themselves first, And it's brave. I mean, it is brave. He's obviously all the right reasons tried to pass that on. And the article talks about how that's the nature of him. He'll go over and above in his job all the time.
Good on him.
I suppose in certain occupations, and Matt will probably understand more than us too. Every day, you'll be looking to put yourself in that situation because you don't know what in terms of his particular role.
Yeah. But on that, you trained, and you've got equipment, and you've got backup, and you've got if you don't want to go towards someone, you don't want to. But he's just selflessly helped, and I think it's a. I love it when normal people get recognition. I think
we just need that, don't we? We could do a whole lot more of that. But I think he goes over and above in lots of ways, and he was nominated for the award. You don't self-nominate. Hold on, where's my award? He's on the phone. He's like, hey, Dad's on the phone again. 3rd time this week. He's done another good deed. Fuck's sake, Should we just give him an award? No, he's done it, and it's well worth recognising. So it's good to see.
Good on him.
Well, we don't celebrate the good stories. That's what we would like to hear more about. So that's a bit of a quick roundup of Men's Health.
We're doing man down now.
Man down for sure. So this is tremendous. Okay, I'll pick this one. Pick this one up.
Okay, let me see if we can get this. I'm not going to put the Daily Sport on screen. Is it Daily? No, it's a
Daily Star.
Daily Star. It's far higher quality than that. When you talk about it's the complete opposite to broadsheet. But anyway, I'm not even sure if you class them as Daily Star as a mainstream media.
Okay. Wait till you talk us to this.
So Martin Ashley Conway, 45, claims the woman was negligent in kissing him, and he's suing the woman for $130,000 after the first date leaves him with a cold sore.
I can see the after effects of it.
So
really, Really
you can see what in his old mush.
I'm assuming that photo was taken before the encounter.
I think that's his Tinder picture.
Yeah. I mean, that would have worked.
Swipe left or right. Fucking went the other way.
Can I zoom in on him?
You get past all the adverts.
What is going on?
You're trying to inspect the photo for the.
I'm trying to find the coleslaw.
Yeah, coleslaw. Trying to find the coleslaw.
Right, hang on.
It's a different type of salad.
How's he come up with 130 grand? Is there a picture of her on?
How many? So that'll be 260 grand I'm owed straight away.
Fuck. I'd be owed about $500,000.
I don't actually. I don't think I get him.
What?
To be honest.
Hang on.
Despite my obvious male prowess throughout my life.
Yeah. That is unbelievable.
130 grand.
So how much?
I feel like we should
has he been successful or not?
That's what we need to find out later on, don't we?
Yeah.
I want to know if this guy wins because I think might be a claim in there for Matt, retrospectively.
Yeah. Fuck off.
I haven't heard about that story. Matt, would you like to share it with us?
What? Oh,
the shame of it, first of all, but then there he is in the day, pitching in for 130 grand.
Brilliant, wouldn't it? You can't have. It's either a piss take, or you can't have any fucking mates.
Oh, it's got to be real.
Because your mates will be. Dave, imagine that in our group, man. You'd be all over that.
What, in terms of buying the next round?
You'd just be like, one, I hope you win. Two, you fucking weirdo. That's mental.
Isn't it?
This next one's
you take
good,
your chances, don't you?
This next one's beauty.
So
we should get a photo of, like, what do you call them? Oral guards that you can get.
You stay there. Don't
Honestly,
get 2 seconds.
I know. Yeah, just imagine you in the throes of passion. Excuse me. Oh yeah. You know what's that about? You know, you see these ideas from sexual health and stuff.
There's fucking websites for that.
Put a mouse guard.
Idris knows that website.
Start boxing me or something?
Yes, we are sponsored by Pornhub.
Every week they get a mention.
Absolutely. Yeah,
right, Idris, you do this one. This is brilliant.
Do you think we get membership for nothing?
Premium.
Well, it's a premium service.
I was say minute and a half anyway.
That's how you get access to Matt's home videos.
Fuck it.
Listen, what have you made me do here?
Are you doing this one, Idris, or am I? Or
you shared this one, Idris.
It's brilliant.
Off his CCTV off the front of his house, I think.
Have
you got a dog?
No, I don't have any.
It's not literally you then.
Any pets at all.
He's just got 4 acres of land in the garden, which he likes to show us every Friday.
Are you going to put it on? You're going to put it on?
I'm going to put it on the screen, actually. I might just show it as well, if we can.
This is set it up.
So yeah. Do you talk us to it while I
my delivery driver didn't have a good day. It says.
I want to know. Oh, it must be come from the Ring doorbell, mustn't it?
And we are sharing this with the permission of Aftab Ali. We're not. Who uploaded it? But
it's out there. It's in the public domain.
It's publicly available.
So good luck to you.
So Richie,
let's hope he's monetized it.
Shall we have a look at this and see?
Yeah, just watch it first.
Just play it, see what happens. There he is. He's got his delivery, social distancing.
If he talks, doesn't he?
Not leaving it at the door.
You're all right. You can like, mate, that's all right, no worries. Cheers, buddy. He's all right, he won't come out. Cheers, mate. Nice stuff. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming. Don't run, mate. Don't run in. Come and get that. Stop running. Stop running. Mate, stop running.
Stop running. Do you know what I love about that? The fucking dog's pathetic.
Oh, it's tiny?
It's tiny, and its tail's like a little fluffy thing. That is. But what time's he getting that takeaway? He's in his pajamas.
A video of a guy hugging a gorilla yesterday, and he's legging it from a little Jack Russell.
That is,
you know. Ankle, what do you call it? Ankle biter? That was brilliant, mate. I love it.
My dog goes mental at the
I think it's a lot of South Asians have this phobia of dogs, you know.
They do. So they come to my house, right, with a takeaway. And my dog's a border collie, and he goes mental. He just barks. He's soft as shit. And you can see them at the end of the drive, like, fuck it. And then the food gets dropped, and you can see them, and you're like, well, you're going to have to get paid, son, and I'm not coming out, so it's pissing down, so you're going to have to come to the door. And there's that battle of, like...
Well...
And all the dog wants to do is fucking just
jump.
I've
had a bad experience. You know, like me a couple of weeks ago.
It is funny.
Just do that. Do that noise again.
Pornhub Premium.
False positive, I'm telling you.
Fuck's sake.
We'll have to make a jingle out of that.
Matt's false positive. How about we do a sexual education book for schools? Matt's false positive.
Why me?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, true. Do you want me to introduce Dave?
Idris is false positive.
Listen, I think Dave has been very patient with us today.
He has. Let's bring him in.
Introduce him.
Go on. Build him up.
Before we knock him.
Every time we do the pod, we're trying to get a guest on, basically, and someone who is. I mean, we had Rory on the other week, who was an inspiration. We've had other people on who were Matt as well, who was fantastic, and we're trying to come at it from a different angle every week. So Dave McKelwee is a really good friend of mine. We've known each other since we were 3, 4, 5-year-old from nursery. Grew up together, drank together, got into all sorts of shenanigans together, and he's in the lads WhatsApp group. Dave joined the Navy and moved down to Leicester, and he'll tell his story about what happened after that. And I have to say that Dave has done like a hell of a lot for charity, and is very passionate about the homeless, and he is, and I'm not just saying it because he's a really good friend of mine. He has a heart of gold. Honestly, he has one of the biggest hearts in anybody I've ever met. And Dave,
Marty lad.
Before you start, Dave, you had your haircut, mate.
Oh mate, yeah.
Well,
our lass has butchered me, hasn't she?
You won't mention my hair, so your hair's get.
Well, yeah, fair one. Yeah.
Tell us what's happening with your hair first.
Well, obviously lockdown haircut, innit? So I asked our lass to trim it down because I knew I was coming on the pod and that. I didn't want to look too scruffy.
And now let's have a look.
Dave, what's up behind you? What's up behind you? Turn round.
Turn round.
What?
Looks like fucking Texan.
Me
Is it a mullet?
No, it's not a mullet, man.
It is.
Don't be daft. It's not a mullet.
That is an interesting haircut, Dave. And
well, yeah.
So you'll have to put a picture on the WhatsApp group.
I might have to take the lot off.
But Dave, listen, I invited you on. Obviously, you've ex-forces, which I think around here is going to resonate with a lot of people. What you're going to say. The floor's yours, mate.
Well, obviously, can I just start with a video you played earlier on with by Chris McGlade? I actually went and seen his forgiveness show in Leicester.
What did you?
And it was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I took my missus and two of my mates, one who's gay, and he openly, he's an old school type comedian. Takes the piss out of everybody. But his show was absolutely fantastic, and obviously he does that poem in his show as well as a few other things. And I was laughing, crying. A lot of it resonated with me, especially like the PTSD and stuff like that, mental health and just the way that things are. Absolutely brilliant. Really, really good show. So, yeah.
We'll have to have a Burman can night out.
He's done, it was really good. And I'll tell you what, that bloke suing that bird for 130 grand for his first date.
I know where this is.
That's a shit first date, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. What was the second one like?
Well, I wouldn't have been having a second date if that was I was getting on my first date.
So, Dave,
but he's betting to get a par more.
He said all these nice things about you at the start. It was not what he was saying before you came on. I'll tell you.
Hey, no, thanks, Marty, lads. You didn't have to say that. I know. I'll give you that. I'll slip you that tenner later.
Yeah.
Steady on.
Go on then, Dave. Tell us your story, bud.
Where do I start? Obviously, Borough lad, growing up with Marty, or Matty, as you lads know him. Joined the forces in '99 and got medically discharged in 2018 with PTSD after 7 tours in Afghanistan. A lot of issues. Some that I've struggled to find help over the years, but eventually I sort of got the courage, or I would say the courage to start speaking out about it and to actually openly talk about it. I've had various counselling over the years through the military, which wasn't very good, and then on leaving the military, they pretty much just cut me adrift, like just cut us away, like they have done with with many people when they leave the forces, we just get left to our own devices, really. So I managed to get picked up by a veterans charity that did some EMDR with me, and then I did a charity event to raise some money for that charity, which is known as Walking with the Wounded, which wasn't necessarily successful, to be fair. I had 18 sessions of EMDR with them, and I didn't find it very, very, very helpful. I met a guy through a Facebook page called Op Spartan, which was set up by an ex-Royal Marine who won the Military Cross in Afghanistan, a lad called Stephen Burns, and he set it up basically for members, veterans of the armed forces, members of the armed forces, members of the police force, the fire service, to all be able to talk to each other and openly speak about what our concerns are, what we're scared about, what we stay awake at night thinking about, what we think about taking our own lives over. And I was struggling. I was really struggling, to the point that one night I was going to tie a metal wire rope around my neck and finish myself off. And I'd been laid awake in bed thinking about it, and I had the wire rope. I'd got it from work that day, and I was set. I was going to do it. It was dark. My wife was asleep in bed next to me, and I prepared myself to get out of bed and to go and do it. And as I went to get out of bed, I heard my little girl crying in the bedroom, in her bedroom. So I went in and seen her, laid with her, sort of calmed her down and put her back to sleep. And that sort of that was it. It was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you going to go and see yourself off and finish yourself when you've got this beautiful little girl laid in bed in the next room? You've got your wife in bed next to you. And that was a sort of light on moment for me. So I went on this website, a Facebook page, Op Spartan, and I basically put my story on there. Not, my military background or anything like that, just a story of wanting to take my own life, really. And a guy called Sean, who's an ex-serviceman, now a firefighter, he contacted me through the site. And he's part of a non-profit organisation called EU Dynamics. And he got in touch with me, and he basically said something that massively resonated with me. He said, look, you don't have to speak to me or anything like that. He said, but he said all of the stuff that you've had before, the EMDR, this, that, and the other. He said it's like somebody cutting open a wound, a deep, severe wound, and then just plastering over it. So it's a deep wound, and so for 45 minutes a session once a week, you go and get this EMDR, but they're not healing the wound. He said, so what I want to offer you is a session. We'll start at, say, 9 in the morning, and we'll go on till 4 or 5 o'clock at night, if needs be. He said, because you need to let the wound heal properly, and having that wound opened for 45 minutes once a week just isn't going to help. And he was right, and that resonated with me, because when I had my EMDR, I had it in Loughborough, and I live in Leicester, so it was about a 30-odd minute drive back home, and I would be sobbing, like literally sobbing, driving home, sitting in the car. Before I could come into the house to see my wife and my little girl, I'd be literally in floods of tears. And I've done 18 years in the forces. I've boxed all of my life. I like a beer. I'm a man's man, but I was just literally sobbing. So I took Sean up on his offer, and I went and spent a day with him. And you know what? He hasn't fixed everything. but I'm in such a better place because of it, because we talked through things. I could get things out. I could go over some of the issues that were concerning me and talk about it properly, so that now, you know, I still take medication every day, and my wife knows when I have little wobbles, and even the lads know when I have little wobbles, because I have a bit of a rant, especially when, you know, Captain Morgan comes out. But it helped me out a lot. And, you know, there's people out there that have had EMDR, and it's helped them out massively. There's people that have had counselling. There's people that just like want to talk. And there's not one simple fix. You know, medication can help, talking can help, but there's not one simple fix for anybody. But there's a lot of people out there that are prepared to listen, that have got the time. You know, myself being one of them. If any of my mates need to talk to me any time of day or night, I'm there. You know, because once you've been in that situation, it's hard not to be able to empathise and be able to help other people. And that's all, you know, myself, my friends, people that I know, Matthew, you know, me and you, we've spoke plenty of times late at night. You know, like say, Op Spartan, there's a lot of different sites out there, not just for veterans, but for anybody. You know, so all I want to say to people is just don't be afraid. At your time, when your time's right to talk about it, then do it, because it's helped me out massively.
Is this first time we've met as well, am I?
Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Obviously,
How we doing, lads? You all right?
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be invited onto the show, lads. By the way, and you know what you're doing. This Borough Man Can, and that is fantastic. What you're doing, you know, for lads in the northeast, just to put it out there. You know, mental health and just being able to talk about things, and a bit of banter as well. You know, the man up, man down. That's brilliant, lads. Need it. Really needed.
Well, the pleasure's ours, and it's thanks for coming on and sharing your story. Welcome to the Borough Man Can family. Everyone that comes on and tells a story, we sort of consider them a champion anyway into the fold. And so forever you'll be a Borough Man Can champion as well, if that's something you're happy to be a part of. Appreciate it.
Oh, definitely love to.
It's God, there's so much in there as well. What's the EMDR, by the way? Just
so I even forget what it is now.
Electromagnetic.
Yeah, I forget what it is, but basically it's like rapid movement. So it's basically to replicate your dreaming. So they leave the like flash lights in front of you or a hand in front of you or get you to follow something. Okay. And it's to replicate like what happens when you're in a dream state.
Okay, so you go through like the debriefing of the sort of things that the traumas you'd experienced.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. There's I suppose trauma is a very complex area, and obviously none of us are, you know, medically or clinically trained as well. But you've mentioned there that some people have experiences, treatments that they find very helpful. But for you, this is a bit different. This was about actually spending long periods of time recounting those. Was it? Is that what you were doing during that time?
Yeah. So you just pretty much go over what it is you pick certain situations, certain memories that trigger feelings, senses, this, that, and the other. Yeah. And you categorize them, you put them in, you know, strongest to weakest, and you go over them, and you go over it and over it and over it until it doesn't become as real as it was. So it's about trying to find somewhere to put it further back in your mind rather than it constantly being at the front.
Right. And interacting with all your thoughts and everything as well. You're going through on that day, on a daily.
A lot of it is once it's there, it interacts a lot with your life. So, you know, you talk about triggers and sort of coping mechanisms and things. So, like, two triggers that I can talk about straight away. One is getting off an airplane. When you get people that are getting off an airplane, you know, they're on the holidays, want to get the bags and get straight off. Fucking bollocks to that. I need to sit and wait and compose myself. Because the second I smell the heat and the the smell and the senses of the heat and the sand and stuff when you get off the plane, that then instantly flashes me back to situations. The long life milk, I can't drink that, or I can drink it, but I've got to compose myself before I drink it, because that gives me flashbacks and memories back to certain things. So that's a trigger for me.
However, he'll do half a bottle of Captain Morgan's rum.
Yeah.
And then start ranting on the WhatsApp, but he can't drink milk. Fucking hell.
Hey,
do you know what, Dave?
Like
Do you know what, Dave? I know we've known each other a long time, and that's the first time, not the first time I've heard your story, but to sit and watch it, for me, it is emotional, and I welled up a couple of times there, because, as a close friend, it's very difficult. And I know we've spoken at length about what we are doing here and what you were doing up your way, but just tell us a bit about your charity stuff, Dave, because I know that's helped you, like the walks you've done. I mean, the lengths this lad's walked, unbelievable. Just talk us through a bit about that, Dave.
Well, I'm not one of these people that can openly speak about, and I'm not the smartest of cookies in the box type of thing. So I'm happy to do whatever I can to help anybody out. So I had a friend of mine, his little girl his niece had neuroblastoma. So myself and another couple of forces guys and a couple of civvies, we ran from Brighton to Liverpool, 260 odd miles. The shortest we did was 30 odd mile a day, some days 40 odd mile, ice baths, this, that and the other. So we did that to raise money and awareness for neuroblastoma. I recently did a walk from a base in Plymouth, so where I first started my basic training at HMS Raleigh, and with one of my really good friends, Steve, who's a Navy PTI. We walked from Plymouth to Portsmouth, so the first base I started at to the last base I started at. We raised money for the Royal Navy, Royal Marines charities and Walking with the Wounded that helped me with the EMDR. I've got really close friends that set up a homeless charity called One Big Family Helping the Homeless, which is named after a song by Embrace, One Big Family. And the guys from the charity were walking from Westminster in London to Chatham in Kent, from where they do a soup kitchen in London to where they do a soup kitchen in Chatham in Kent. So me being me, I thought, well, that's good, all well and good, but it's not as much of a challenge for me. So I did 4 days in the field on exercise in the job that I was doing at the time. Got back on the Friday, filled my Bergen with food and water, and I set off from Portsmouth on the Friday at lunchtime. I got to Westminster on the Saturday evening. So I slept rough, ate rough, this and the other. Got to Westminster on the Saturday evening, laid out in my sleeping bag just where they set the soup kitchen up, and looked like a homeless person myself. Just laid there trying to sort my feet out, and got chatting to a couple of the homeless people that come to the soup kitchen and what have you. And then met up with the rest of the guys that were doing the walk. Then we went from there to Chatham. My feet were in bits. I could barely walk when I finished that. I was literally sobbing. I was having to walk faster than everybody, so then to be at a stop, cry, sort me admin out, and then meet them when they came up with me, so that then I could save face, because it was that I was in bits. My feet,
I know,
my feet were in tatters for weeks afterwards. So yeah, look, put myself through a little bit of pain, but to help other people out.
That's quite exceptional. I mean, I think the thing is, there's two things I was really keen to find out more about. One is the unique side of things, which is armed forces and PTSD. And it sounds like, well, you are quite an exceptional guy with what you're doing. We're asking like more blokes to be comfortable with talking about their emotional health. We're not necessarily asking everyone to do all the things that you're doing. Obviously, it's like I was going to say extreme reaction to extreme situation, but actually, you give these examples and it's like, right, dial it down a few notches, and we need more people, more blokes, just be more open.
Yeah.
I mean, I could ask you like what your thoughts are on that, why that doesn't happen, but we've sort of had that sort of conversation. But I'm thinking more like when at that particular moment when you're at your lowest. Am I right to ask you about that? Is that okay?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, and it's sort of, I know you mentioned that you'd heard your daughter and so on, and what got you to that point. A lot of blokes could probably get things sorted before they get to that point. What are your thoughts? Is there anything that might have changed for you that might have got you to that point sooner, do you think? Or
I honestly can't say. Sometimes, with mental health in itself, in its entirety, it's ups and downs, it's raw.
Oh,
lost him.
He'll come back. Get him back.
Sometimes it can be simple things that set you off, triggers, feelings, thoughts. I don't think there's any one way or one thing that does it.
But meeting that chap you're on about who basically spent that extra time opening up the wound, and I heard someone recently was described as like, life's difficulties can leave you with a lot of wounds, but it's about letting the light in, sort of. Hit
definitely.
It's one. We had Rory Logan on talking about finding the light, and it does seem to be a common example people give. But you've got to shine something on it, haven't you? Otherwise, if you turn away from it, it's a type of anxiety, isn't it? And it can really just chew you up, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, with anxiety and depression, they both work against each other.
Right.
So anxiety, you sort of at it all the time, itching to be able to do something, whereas the depression part.
I lost him again.
Come back to us. Come back to us.
I think he's having a
back,
few
Dave.
connection issues there, but yeah, Dave's back now. So sorry, we lost you for a moment there, Dave, but I think
you were
back.
saying with anxiety and depression they work against each other, and then we heard you say, but with depression.
Yeah, so anxiety, you're constantly wanting to be doing something, or you feel like you have to be doing something, and the depression.
Yeah, depression's like almost the opposite, isn't it? You can't motivate yourself
Yeah,
to.
pretty much, yeah.
If it's very severe, even out of bed and your normal day-to-day routines just completely shot as well.
Yeah,
well, Dave,
definitely.
Well, if you send me the link, we'll put the thing. Is it Titan?
Spartan.
Spartan. Why do I keep saying Titan?
Spartan.
Spartan. Yeah, send it over and we'll put it up for a Mankind page, Rich. Yeah.
I just wonder if you think like the armed forces should be doing more, really. Like I know you said the counselling wasn't very good from them, but if you almost know you're sending people into war zones, I mean it's not always the case. Some people can do a career in the army.
Do you know what, Richie? I'm going to be brutally honest, and I'm going to mention somebody, and obviously I know you can cut this and whatever you can, but as a member of the armed forces, we all thought we were going to get our own, one of our own, with his feet under the table, and he's going to do a lot for us. And Johnny Mercer got in, he offered world-class veterans mental health care. He's the veterans minister, and he's done nothing. He's done fuck all for the veterans and for veterans mental health. So he's gone from being a serviceman to then being a politician, and looks like he's forgotten his background and what he's promised. And there's a lot of lads, even only in June, there's 6 veterans, armed forces veterans, that committed suicide in June.
Yeah.
But it's people at the top again, isn't it? I know he's cut off again, but it's that. Well, I'm all right.
Yeah, well, I mean, we see it time and time again. We need more money. We lost you for a little bit again there.
All right.
Sorry, but yeah, I mean, the inaction when people get to the top is something you see so often, isn't it? But this is he was meant to represent a particular need for veterans of either sex, actually, either gender, who are coming out of.
The whole point of him getting into power, or the whole point of him being elected and put in the position that he was in, was as a veteran or as a member of the armed forces, to look after members of the armed forces or veterans. Or do you know what? It's not about veterans. It's about looking after people that have got mental health problems, and a situation being there to help people out. It's unique, though, isn't it? I mean, if you want to see the worst side of humans, go at the front line, right? In a war zone, you will see it.
And I'm sure that, like, you know, the trauma. I mean, there's not many people who wouldn't be affected by those sort of things, you know. And I've had, I know a couple of people who have come. You know, I've had this is like a recurring story. Although, I mean, did you say 7 tours, 9 tours, 7? That's a shitload, isn't it? I mean, that's bloody repeating and over again, basically. But it sounds like this whole Johnny Mercer thing. Like, he's got in. They obviously made some commitments, and that hasn't come to light, basically, at all.
And the thing is, like, the other issue as well with the 7 tours that I did, I was diagnosed with PTSD after the first tour, and you know,
Jesus.
And then they're still sending.
Yeah. Christ.
Weird, because when you're with other people and stuff, you just get along with it, you laugh about it and make jokes and light of it.
Yeah.
After the 6th tour I did, I then went on to a totally different unit, and I was actually getting treatment through the Department of Mental Health in Portsmouth for the military, and I was getting treatment whilst I was on this other unit, and they still sent me again for the 7th tour, for my 7th trip away. You know, carrying weapons with me all of the time. So if I'd have went fucking mental, and I'd have had you know, a bad day or a bad night or whatever, or what, I could have fucking done anything.
Yeah.
I had a 9mm weapon with me all of the time. I could have done anything.
Do you know what? I always think, like, you know, all the money that war costs shitload, doesn't it? Let's be honest. You know, that's one thing. But do they factor in to the cost, the support to our own, you know, on return from those?
So.
And it doesn't, does it? That's not the complete decision, then, is it? Because if you're going to decide to go war, commit to that, you know, whether it's bombing Syria or fucking up Iraq or whatever opinion, you know, Libya and so on, whatever fucking, you know, next CIA fucking response thing is going to be, you know, on the back or whatever. But that's part of the cost, isn't it? That is basically.
Yeah, but you just get cast aside when you come home, and you know, and I know a lot of guys that have been in the police force, that have been in the armed forces, that have been in the fire service, even, you know, nurses that have seen, you know, once you've seen something or experienced something, you can't unsee it. It's then ingrained in your body and in your DNA, and you can't unsee it.
Yep.
So, you know, you can't just turn it off.
Yes. I've got to say, and I've said this to anyone I've ever met, who's experienced, who's nearly got to the point where they've killed themselves, is that I'm so pleased to be able to chat to you and have that conversation with you, rather than, you know, you being, as much as I hate to say it, being another stat, basically, and a forgotten hero in this respect, you know. So fantastic, you know, I'm very pleased you did get that, and you did hear that voice of your daughter, and keep telling the story. No, absolutely. And thank you for coming on and sharing.
Cheers, Dave. Thanks you, mate.
Thanks for having us, lads.
No, thank you, David. That was a really powerful story, and I'm really glad that you came on the show to share it with our audience. And I'm glad that you are seeking the support that's available.
Yeah.
That EMDR sounds quite interesting. Not come across that before, but it's
good.
And keep going with it as well. Yeah. I know the journey never ends, really. You know, recovery with mental health is something which is a journey that never really leaves. You just get better at dealing with it and understanding what works for you. So good luck on that and continuing on that as well. But for, you know, if you have that point again, mate, you know, reach out to whoever you've got to make sure you don't get that.
Keep up the good work, you three.
Thanks very much.
Cheers,
you're definitely wise. I don't know about fools, but you're definitely wise.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, Dave.
See you later, bud.
So take care.
Cheers,
bye-bye.
lads. Take care.
Bye.
Take care, mate.
So that was Dave. I'm glad he came on.
Very much.
Because, you know, it's not an easy thing to share.
Gives you a different angle as well, doesn't it? Because no matter what race, creed, gender, sex you are, people are in the army, navy, marines, whatever they're doing, and I think it gives us a different angle for people who are listening to think about, you know, even if one person's in the forces who thinks, fucking hell, he gets some out.
Yeah.
And they're going Spartan.
How fucking damaging it is. I mean, I know that he's one man with one take on the Johnny Mercer thing. I don't know a great deal about it, but if he's saying it, it's, you know,
there's a movement, isn't there?
Oh yeah, but I mean, how much trust do politicians have to lose through the bullshit before they actually realise that basically the loss of faith in politics is one of the most damaging things.
But if you look as well, the likes of Dave, like, you join the Navy, you're uprooted from your family, which is your decision. You know what you're getting yourself into.
Right, okay.
But then he's on a tour.
Yep.
He suffers PTSD. I tell you what, we'll keep you away from your family and send you another fucking sentence.
Oh yeah, no, that'll do it. Keep hammering, keep hammering that flat nail.
Yeah,
yeah.
Put the nail finally in your coffin, Dave. No, I think it's a very powerful message, and I just, again, the local lad who doesn't live around here anymore, and he's obviously going through life struggles, and fucking hats off to him.
No, and all that work he's doing for charity as well. Just
it's amazing, honestly.
But then that's part of your healing as well. Like you put. I remember when my pal died in the car accident, and he was taken to hospital in the air ambulance, and we were told afterwards it would have cost around about five grand. So, it took me a few years, but I ended up raising enough money to pay that back. Yeah, and then some. And obviously, his partner at the time, she did a whole amount of work. She did boxing. She did that sort of blue collar boxing and stuff. Yeah. She did all right the first time. She got shit kicked out the second time. And it's only she's going back to it after. But yeah, these things, it does make a difference. It's huge, but there's a benefit to people for doing that as well. It does. So fantastic.
And do you know what? I was complaining at the beginning of this. I've had a fucking shit week.
Feel better for that now.
Feel better now.
So it pays to listen. And again, I'm just listen to people tell their story. It's very humbling, isn't it?
It is, and it makes you realise that if someone's chewing you in it, that's very easily solvable.
Is it?
Well, not with you. You fucking prodder.
Doyle.
Oh, Doyle. Right, is that the first time on Burrowman Can Doyle's been said? fucking Doyle.
Guys, I'm get a t-shirt made up with the fucking
I know we made a little disclaimer at the start of the programme, but you have to tame your language.
What, Doyle?
You know what I mean. Viewers, do apologise about the language on the programme. Okay. I don't. It's not on the radio anyway. So
Idris would never drop the C-bomb anyway, would you?
I don't think we should be doing that on Facebook either.
Stop.
Listen, guys, as ever, we've overrun.
Oh, here he is. Time police.
We've overrun.
Time police.
But that's fine.
The thing is, it's like when we had Rory on, you can't cut it. Like, it's like Dave, I know we overrun sometimes, but you can't cut that off.
No, I wasn't referring to Dave. I was talking about you two waffling on for ages.
Let's always finish how we should always finish the same way. I know that some demands are increasing.
I thought you wanted to finish at the same time.
No, well, have we got any biscuits? That's a different joke. My joke. Anyway, right.
I think that's a different programme, isn't it?
It is. Right, look, we've seen mental health demand and services go up a bit, which means that obviously people are, obviously struggling for all sorts of reasons. People are starting to make the calls again, but we do, people need to continue to get in touch. But for blokes particularly, I'm going to mention again, Talk Today. Obviously, go on Facebook, find Talk Today.
We'll put the links in the description.
Yeah, and I think it's a great place where people can start chatting using Messenger, but there's also, you can get telephone support now through iApps. But just don't, if our podcast doesn't make it clear that you shouldn't, suffer in silence, and there's more sympathetic ears out there, go and chase it up, basically.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for bearing with us today, and we'll be back again in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dave.
Dave's got a request for a song.
Yes. Shall we
bring him back?
Sorry, Dave.
Bring him back.
All right.
Dave, we normally end with
just put his clothes back on there. What's that about?
That's it. Yeah, I was going to go to Matty's dogging site.
Get the map out.
Yeah.
It's not even on Google.
Hey, you should have been careful with your language, by the way, because if your mum's listening to this,
she'll go mad. Old man will kill me.
We're both right in this shite when we see your mum next.
Every week she says to me, "It's bloody marvellous what you're doing. It's bloody marvellous."
not when she's heard us. Put your mouth in.
What will she pull her face every time she hears you swear? Like,
Judge, she'll do. She'll be listening, and she'll go. So during lockdown, when everyone was sending out loads of pictures, I sent her one of it was quite rude, and I thought, and she goes, "It's bloody scandalous that in the family group," knowing that she's then forwarded it onto all of her mates. That's exactly what she did.
You can see it.
But Dave, we normally end with a song, and I know you've picked one this week, and just a little bit of why and what song it is.
Yeah, so obviously going back to what I said about my things with my wife and my little girl, keep me still here, really, lads. So the song I've chosen is "Please Forgive Me" by David Gray. It's a really good song. The lyrics resonate massively with me, and I sing it to my wife every chance and my little girl every chance I get. Please forgive me if I act a little strange, because I know not what I do.
Well,
Thanks very much, lads.
It doesn't work, by the way. I've tried it. We have long memories. Nightmare.
So if anyone wants
Good
to
lad.
download Matty's dogging site ebook, that link will be available in the description as well. It is $5.99, and all the proceeds go to
Matt's shawarma is what we call it.
So let's go to Dave's song. Let's take a listen to this. And it's Goodbye From Me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from what?
Au revoir.
I'm out.
Please forgive me if I act a little strange, for I know not what I do. Feels like lightning running through my veins every time I look at you. Every time I look at you. Help me out here, all my words are falling short. And there's so much I want to say. Want to tell you just how good it feels when you look at me that way. When you look at me that way. Throw a stone and watch the rivers flow, moving out across the bay. Like a stone I fall into your eyes, deep into that mystery. Deep into some mystery. I got half a mind to scream out loud. I got half a mind to die. So I won't ever have to lose you good. Won't ever have to say bye. I won't ever have to lie. Won't ever have to say